welcome. I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of Up Close and Personal with the Queen. Of course, I am the Queen of Collaboration, Angela Thomas, author Angela Thomas. I am the founder of AAALAC, which is the African American Author Literacy Awareness Campaign. I am also the CEO of Aspiring Authors Magazine. My whole desire is to bridge the gap between brown authors all over this world and to touch on topics that's affecting our brown community that other people don't want to talk about, those things that they brush under the rug, those things that they try to keep us hindered by. So I'm excited to be the visionary behind the 122 authors from around the world, given this opportunity to share these amazing self-published authors that is sharing their voice, these things that matter to them. They're sharing them inside of their book. So I want to be a platform that allows them to be able to share. I'm going to be promoting and highlighting and showcasing them all of 2023. So I want you to make sure that you are following us. Make sure that you are go over and engage in the group. Get to know some of these amazing authors. Again, that is the 122 authors from around the world campaign. Yes, it's a movement. We have 63 amazing authors that's already attached. Our goal is to have 122 by January the 1st. So if you're an author and you're out there and you're looking for a little exposure, you're looking for some like-minded individuals that don't mind supporting and want to do this together, come on over, join us on this journey. But tonight, I have one of those amazing authors that's a part of the 122 authors from around the world campaign. I'm going to give her an opportunity to introduce herself, share a little bit about her brand, the things that she's passionate about, some things that she's doing now, and what we can look forward to for 2023. So I'm going to move out the way and allow her to come up and share. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you tonight?
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I am doing wonderful, and I hope your audience is too. Thank you for tuning in, everyone.
Well, I tell you, I get excited every time I get the opportunity to share one of these amazing self published authors that decided to share their voice and they have a message for the world. So, tonight, if you would please share with the listeners just a little bit about who is GB Lynch.
Wow. Um, I am fortunate now to have um, accomplished a dream of mine that has been flowing for probably well over 20, 25 years. I've always been a writer, started out with poetry when I was very young. And I would start projects and, books and, writings that I intended to actually become novels. But, they ended up being put on the back burner and, life happens and you have other things that are more pressing and you don't find the time. So when 2020 came around with the COVID shutdown and what have you, I actually had the time. So I had this checklist of things that I'm like, I am actually going to do this. I had been researching something that I was passionate about, and I still am, which is our Black history. When I realized I would hear different pieces of information, um, and I would say at my age in 2020, I turned 50. And I felt like by that time, at 50 years old, there shouldn't be a whole lot that I don't know when it comes to our history of our ancestors. And as I would keep reading things, hearing things, and then I would ask my husband, so I'm like, if he doesn't know and I don't know this, then there's something wrong. There's other people that don't know this. And we need to know it. A lot of us feel as though we have heard stories and it's just not true. So I went to research as I would hear them, and then I would uncover, another little nugget here and there. and I would just make notes as I heard things. And I ended up with a book that had so many different pieces. And I would tell my husband, I was like, somebody's got to put all of this information together. And saying that, I'm like, well, I guess the somebody has to be me because why wait, for somebody or expect someone else to do something that you can actually do yourself? So I had the time and I just started writing. But it literally, before 2020 is when I actually started, 2 years prior to that. So it took me 2 years just to research this first book that I released, entitled "We Are Still Supposed to Be Slaves: The Chronicles of Being Black in America." So the book covers a lot of what I call hidden history, because even though we call it Black history, I also refer to it as American history because it's all of our history. Um, and we should know it. We need to know this. And there's so many avenues today that, people are trying to, keep our children and grandchildren from learning this information. So that's the other thing I considered, because I have a granddaughter. And I was thinking, well, if I didn't learn this in school, she isn't going to learn this. Somebody has to do this. So that's why I decided to really put this together. And it's so much information that this is actually going to be a series. I did not want to, make the book um to have too many pages, because I just felt like, people are not going to read it. If they do read it, it I did not want it to feel like it was something that they were, you know, like a textbook that they were in school, studying history. So my writing style is very relaxed, and it's not meant to feel like you are sitting in a classroom or having to do a book report, on our history. But there's a lot in my book that I share that so many people have commented in their reviews that they just have never heard before. They did not know. And when I realized that, it really touched me, because I said to myself, that's exactly what I went through. Um, Shed a lot of tears writing a lot of these chapters, because it means a lot to me. And it's not the only focus of my writing as far as Black history. I do um, horror, I do drama, I do comedy as well. But I will say I am extremely passionate about because chronicles of being Black in America today, because a lot of us think that so much of what we see and what we through as Black people, we think is new. The only thing that's new is that phones that have, cameras, and, we can in a split second upload a video, to a social media platform, and now the world sees, as opposed to prior to this technology, we only had, the local people that would have happened in their community. And unless they shared it outside of that community, how are you
Nobody.
going to know? Yeah, nobody's going to report it. So I feel like we need to know how the past connects to our present in order to
When
keep it from happening in the future.
when I tell you God is so good, because let me tell you, um, I just had an incarcerated author on. He's currently incarcerated,
Okay.
and he was sharing he was sharing some of the same stuff that you touching on right now.
Absolutely. And it I love it when I see and hear others that really are um, also driven to make sure that a lot of this information is shared, because at first I really didn't know if anyone would care. When I decided to write this, I'm like, because so I do hear it so frequently. People like, oh, I heard all of that, seen all of that. You know, why we keep talking about the past? Um, it's you know, get over it, let it go. And I keep saying, get over what? How can you get over something that is still
Still happening.
happening? Yet it's still continuing present day. Is like, how many black men are we gonna see continue to be, murdered, not only by the cops, but by people that look like them, people that look like us. So I mean, to me, that we continue to go through, again, if we don't know our past, then how are we gonna make sure that these things don't continue in the future? And so it's probably gonna, I said this was gonna be a 3-book series, but honestly, I have so many notes on things that I have to research. I'm not sure now if it's gonna stop at 3 or if this is just gonna be, an ongoing series. But I really hope that, for anyone that has not had the opportunity to read this book, it is available, ebook, paperback, as well as hardcover, um, wherever pretty much books are sold online. And so far, it's still 5-star reviews. It is a bestseller, um, which I'm so proud of, here as well as internationally. My second book that I literally just released right before Thanksgiving, I was planning on taking a little break because it took so much out of me to write this first book, that I was like, I'm going to do something light. I'm going to do something that doesn't take that much, won't take that much time, that much research. So I decided to do a cookbook based on soul food and the history of it, because I realized that all of a sudden soul food seems to be trendy. We have culinary chefs that have opened that, of course, they put their little spin on each recipe, but regardless, it's still soul food. And I said, well, a lot of times I know, um, I love to cook. I have taken recipes that were passed down to me from my mom, who was an amazing cook, and have shared them with my daughter, who's also a great cook. And sometimes I used to ask her when I was younger, how did she learn, to cook this, or where did she learn to cook this? And she would usually say her grandfather. Well, for me, my answer is going to be my mother. But again, where exactly is the origin of, this dish that most of us eat, maybe during the holidays, or maybe just grew up eating? So I got to thinking about that and decided that I wanted to do, um, the history of certain popular soul food recipes. So I called this one Soul Food's Road to Culinary Decadence: The Long Trip from Plantation Scraps to Celebrated
Mm.
Cuisine. So I wanted to give our ancestors their flowers, because a lot of what we eat, even if we don't call it soul food, whether it's, southern food or just different dishes, that you really don't realize where the origin is. And I did end up with some, going down some paths that I really didn't expect, because I was expecting everything to, lead back to when our ancestors were enslaved. But there are some recipes that did not take me there. That wasn't the actual beginning. Who created or where that recipe came from. But of course, they put their spin on it and made it something incredible. But so it's a true cookbook, but before the recipe, there's a little history about each of the recipes. So I was hoping it would be something fun that families, can share, like, and maybe you can start a conversation about, oh, I didn't know, that this ingredient or, this ingredient is native to West Africa. So that's how, finding it very easy, to actually, what have you. And so far, I'm still waiting for a lot of reviews, but a couple of reviews that I have had, whether it's a few verbal as well as one that I think someone posted on barnesandnoble.com, was a really great review. So far, great feedback on that one as well.
Wow. You're doing some amazing stuff to educate our brown people. And I tell you, you touched on something because if we don't know our history, how do we know our future?
Absolutely, absolutely, and it means so much to me to try to get that information out there for especially our younger people, that they really, um it hurt me dearly when I heard someone say that they did not believe that slavery actually happened. And so that almost knocked me off my feet. And we were in conversation, kind of group conversation, and this young person may be in their late 20s. And I was like, wow, I just was blown away. And I'm like, how can you feel that way or have that belief? And I'm like, did have you maybe not had a lot of um history, in your background? Because again, we can't say that they're teaching this.
They
So
don't, because I'm telling you, I have
yeah,
friends that are school teachers, and they've taken social studies out of the elementary schools, and they've taken history out of a lot of the high schools. It is a known fact. They do not want, because it was traumatizing the Caucasians. It was traumatizing the Caucasians. So they took it out of the schools. But all the trauma that we have endured at your hands, and because we talk about it one, we get to talk about it 1 month out of 12 months. We get to talk about it 1 month. That's the shortest month. Why? Why do we have to be separate? I wasn't born outside of the U.S. I was born right here in the U.S. So I'm U.S. I'm American. So why can't my history be your history? Our history be history. Period.
that's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly. That if we have to segregate it, okay, fine. Because we need to be able to get this information out. But I am 100% with you. It should just be American history, because this happened here. And the truth is the truth. It's like, don't, eh, I'm sorry that your ancestors did what your ancestors did, but
Exactly.
accept that we all have a past. And it's no one is saying that you yourself, present day, enslaved anyone. No one is saying that, but that's the way that they receive it. And
Hmm.
you shouldn't, because if everyone else is allowed to talk about their history, then why should we as Black people be any different? Like, there is no reason that we should not be able to share and well. There's nothing wrong with you saying great Uncle Dubby did this. And it's unfortunate that, sure, maybe he had a plantation, maybe he owned slaves, maybe he did whatever, maybe he fought in the Confederate War. There's nothing wrong with that. What you should be saying is that There are not things that we would do today or that your family would like to, you know, continue on with history, that you would not do today what your ancestors did yesterday. To me, there's nothing wrong with it because whatever has happened. We're supposed to learn from it and grow from it and move forward. But this thing where they just want to completely shut us down when it comes to happen in the past here, like you said, on this soil here in America, how are you going to try to hide your history too?
Hmm.
But yeah, it's something that I mean that no one wants February. And then they only want to pick 3 or 4. Those are the only that when it comes to us. That me as well because I know growing up, and of course love and respect these people that we used to do book reports on. It was always Dr. King. It was always Miss Rosa Parks. Um, and honestly, I think that was it at first when I was in grade school.
Yeah, I think them was the
And
only two for me.
yeah, and so it as you get older, you start to ask the question, well, wait a minute. I know we had more than like two people that accomplished something. And as they say, it means a lot when you see someone that looks like you
Hmm.
in certain fields, doing certain things, being recognized, being accomplished. And my biggest problem was that I just knew. But again, that was all that was shared. And you got a classroom full of kids and everybody's doing reports. How many times can you hear the same the same words about two people? So I just knew it, but they never talked about, we invented almost everything that
Hmm.
exists. Never talked about us as, people that discovered lands and travelers and, medicine and science. They never talked about any of that. Problem. That is a real problem because no differently than those beautiful little girls that were amazed when they were able to see that the little mermaid in that movie looked like them. We all need that. Even as adults, we still need that to accomplish things and be recognized for their works and to say, hey, no matter what age, if I want to do this, all I need to do is create a plan and a path and can make it happen. What's wrong with saying to put that out to say, okay, this is what I want to do. Now I see that there's somebody that looks like me that's done it. Now I know it can be done. It, and I'm just in huge support of that we have to stay connected. We have to be able to share with one another and make sure that we don't allow us to say, oh, well, this is old. We need to stop talking about this and put it in the past. I'm like, there's no such thing, in my personal opinion. There's no such thing as putting it in the past. It's still current. Our particular past relates to our present day. Everything that is going on, for the most part, is not something new. It's already been done. People just don't know it.
Right. Wow. So how can people follow you and support you? What platforms are you on?
Goodness. So I will admit, and please, listeners, please don't hold it against me. I am not a fan of social media, but I do it because I feel I have to. So I am actually on let's see, Facebook, GB Lynch author. I'm on Instagram at GB Lynch underscore author. I'm also on Twitter, still at author underscore G. Um, I have a podcast that um, you can find me on any platform that has podcasts like Spotify, Anchor, Apple, um, and it's GB Lynch author. Some really good topics. The most popular podcast that I have is entitled "How They Broke Up the Black Family."
Mm.
I
I
don't
was
think.
I was just talking about that on my last interview. I was just
Mhm.
talking about that when we come out of slavery and they started telling the wives that the husband couldn't come there when they needed the low income housing and all that, and they try to come with the welfare and all that. That's how they
Yes,
got them out the
ma'am.
house. And then they're gonna
Yes,
tell them they
ma'am.
can't. The men can't stay if you either take this housing or you stay on the street with this man. And that's what they
Yes,
was telling them. So
yes,
you had
that's
to, so they was
exactly.
making decisions. They was making decisions, and I honestly believe that a lot of these men did not want to walk away from their homes, but they wanted to make sure that their family had somewhere to stay. So they had to go.
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what the topic is referred to. Absolutely. And I
But they
think
don't
that
talk about that. They don't talk about that. That ain't in no history. They don't want us to know that.
exactly.
Thank
And
you.
that's why I gotta tell it because that the people that generation couple of generations after us and stuff, they're never gonna know that if we don't share it. Because I got to thinking about that too, and I was like, a lot of people today even understand how close we used to be as a people.
Hmm.
Like when I was a kid, families were like, if one family needed something, somebody jumped in and tried to make sure that that family had what they needed, whether they were short on rent or, kids needed school clothes or,
Rent parties and yeah.
I think about one of those too. So exactly, it's just, having conversations about those types of topics so that people that don't know can know, because we are missing that um, right now, in my personal opinion. A lot of that love and connection that our parents and their friends and generations before that connection and love that we used to have for each other as just black people in general, we're missing that. And we need to work hard to try to get that back, because if we can do that, then that, to me, again, it's just my belief, but I feel that that strengthens, our foundation as a people. And from there, if we have that strength, that connection, that bond, that love for each other, just in general, as black people, then, you know, we can move forward, like bosses and just start, you know, doing things and accomplishing things and just simple. Oh, and I forgot TikTok. I'm sorry, y'all. That's my last platform that I joined, and I thoroughly enjoy that one. Though I will say, I've um, I've been on just a short amount of time, but I find I've connected with a lot of fantastic people that are also doing a lot of great things, and putting things out into the community, their own businesses, and all kinds of great um, opportunities to link with um, a lot of people. So I forgot that one. That was GB Lynch, author as well, on TikTok.
I think I don't
I'm sorry, I
migrated on
forgot
over
that
there
one.
too. Oh, it's okay. I tell everybody I had to go get me a link tree. I had to get me a link tree so I can link everything together. So when they start looking for me, all they got to do is go to Linktree / Queen of Collaborations and everything pop up.
I'm gonna have to look into that then, because I'm unfamiliar with the link tree, but I did see that on your platform, and I was like, "What is link tree?" But
Yeah, go on
after,
Linktree, everything, and you can like when you have like say you have like little events. Say you might just have something coming up, you can add that to your Linktree, or if you're sharing
mm,
something for somebody else, you can add that to your Linktree. So everything will be directed to you. So somebody always gonna have you always gonna be in their face. So whatever they looking for, you always gonna be in their face. So if they looking for your say they looking for the magazine for me, they go Linktree, Queen of Collaboration. Then they click on. They say, "Oh, she got a YouTube." Click on the YouTube. It's right there.
oh yeah, I forgot the
They go
YouTube.
there. They go there for one thing, and then they can find everything because you right there. So hey, I tell everybody. I tell everybody get a Linktree too. So you can put everything on it. So when people start asking you about your different stuff, you got to go. You don't have to worry about forgetting it. It's
Okay,
already
so you just
right
give it
there. Yeah,
that one thing.
yeah, because everything is gonna be hooked up. I wish I knew how. I'm not all that tech savvy, so I can't be flipping my screens and stuff. But I could
I
show
get.
you like, but it has it's like a profile, and
Mm-hmm.
you can link different things to it. You can have a subscription on there. So if people want to make donations, they can donate to you. If you want to have a cause, say you want to run a campaign and you want people to do this or do that, it'll pop up first. They got all kind of little stuff over there. I've been telling everybody about it. I've been using it for about 2 years now. It
Okay.
I used to get on here and run down all those different sites, and then
Like I just did.
somebody told me one day. They say, Miss Angela, why don't you get you a link tree? And I went right on when I got after interview with them. I went right on over to Linktree and I signed up. And I've been telling everybody ever since.
Uh,
And I probably got about
I
20
see.
links on there.
Well,
But
hey,
everything
well,
is
I'm
in
glad
one
that it
place.
just
Everything is in one place. So when people go over
mm,
to your platform, they can see everything and then they can just click on whatever. And it always divert back to your page.
okay.
So yeah, that way
Awesome.
they want to order a book, they can click on the book. Then they want to come back and say, "Oh, I might want to go check out a podcast." They click on your podcast and then take you right to whatever. And it lets you
Gotcha.
link
That's
a lot of different stuff. I mean, they
great.
can make payments, they can do all kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a good platform
Wow.
to use.
Okay. I'm gonna check
So check it
it
out.
out.
Check it
Definitely.
out. Yeah, check it out. It's a good platform. But I definitely I thank you for what you're doing. I thank you for your books and I thank you because one of my thing is educating, empowering, encouraging. I call it the E3
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
I would not be doing what I'm doing now if it had not been for those babies in 2016 that told me that they didn't want to have a summer program like regular summer program. So I decided to do something
Mhm.
different. I wanted to do something different. I wanted my babies to be able to, like you say, if they don't see someone that look like them doing something, then they not amped to do it. I'm come from the
Yeah.
country. I come from a small place. Everybody used to working in mills and factories and different things. The things that
Yes.
I'm doing, you didn't expect me to be doing half of this because of where I come from. It was just a given. When I was coming up, when I saw people, we didn't work in clothing stores. There was when you walk in the clothing store, there was no African Americans in there. It was always a Caucasian. When you walk in different stores, you knew that when you got older, you wasn't gonna be able to work there. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that old. I'm saying
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
50, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even 50 yet. So
And see, and
I
that's the thing. It's not people act as if all of this has, when they say it's in the past, like it's been, hundreds and hundreds of
no,
years. It's like,
no,
no.
no,
No.
well, and
I'm
then
telling you, it's
no, I told him no. Mm-mm.
like you said, you have those opportunities that you just kind of look and, they don't even want you in the store back then, much less, work there.
Right.
No, it has not been that long ago. In some
I'm
places,
looking
it
at
still exists.
yeah.
Still
Look,
exists.
man. I'm talking about South Carolina need to get in. They need to come out the 50s because they still stuck in the 50s, and
There
you
are a
can
lot of
tell
states are.
by a lot of their laws and by a lot of the things that they do. Right. And then all these we need some brown people to start running for office and to get in position and change up some stuff. That's what it's gonna take. But everybody keeps saying, oh, we can't do this, we can't. No, you can't do it. You stay over there with your can'ts and we gonna go over here with yes we can because I know what he said.
Yeah,
He breathed the breath of life into me. He said he breathed the breath of life into me. So everything that I need is in me already. So what these
absolutely.
people on the outside and what they know decided that they wanted to do, that's not a part of his plan for us. But it's up to us.
Exactly.
So I thank you for being a part of the change that you desire to see because that's part of the movement. We are the change that we desire to see in this world. And I truly
Absolutely.
believe that. So thank you again. I want you to share before we leave something inspirational, something encouraging with the people on tonight.
Ooh. Well, what I would like to encourage people to know that whatever it is that's in the pit of your stomach, if it's something that you feel that you just can't shake it, it's something you've wanted to do, something you've thought of, something you maybe haven't even shared with anyone, but it's something that you've been carrying around that you really would like to do it. It's not, for years I stood in my own way because I've always had an issue with failure. I've never wanted to fail at anything. And it's something that was crippling at one point in my life, which is how I end up now at this point, things that I've always wanted to do. Um, Even I had to learn, which I always knew, of course, that, you know, failing is just a learning opportunity. It's the chance for you to actually learn from your mistakes and then use that to go out and do it again and be better. Um, do it. If you can't shake it, it's something that's just been gnawing at you, that is just been simmering, and you just keep coming back to it and you keep saying, oh, one day, one day, one day. Don't worry about the one day. Just do it. Get you a plan together, whether it requires research or even if it's something that just seems just literally impossible. I'm telling you, go ahead, do whatever it is you need to do to take that first step. You can't necessarily do it all at once. Whatever it is, it may take time, but But what else you gonna do? Time is gonna pass. It's gonna come and go anyway. So as those minutes are ticking away, utilize those to create your plan, create your path, and be on your way to doing whatever that thing is that you want to do. Get it done. 2023 is right around the corner. Let's do it. No more time for wasting. Let's do it.
Let's get it. Y'all heard it.
Yeah,
I want
that's
to thank you for stopping by and sharing with us on tonight. I've truly been blessed on tonight. I pray that your evening is blessed. Thank you.
thank you, yours too. And again, thank you for having me, and thank you all for listening to anything I had to say.
Amen. Amen.
Have a
I
happy
want to
new
thank
year,
you guys.
everybody.
Same to you. I want to thank everybody for stopping by and sharing with us on today. I hope that something that you have heard from Miss G.B. Lynch on tonight have blessed you. I want to all my brown people, learn your history. Check her out. Go grab one of these books and check out some of those nuggets. She got some things in there that we don't know about. She's sharing inside the book. Go over, support the platform. Check her out. She's one of the amazing authors that's a part of the 122 author movement. So guess what? You're going to be seeing a lot of her in 2023. Thank you guys for tuning in. I pray that the rest of your evening is blessed. If you can jump back on in about 20 minutes, I'm going to have another amazing author stopping by to share with us. I love you guys. Thank you for all your support. God bless.